Yo, what's up, Blackish fam? I hope all is well and everybody's doing well in the world and the week is going well for you. Yo, I'd like to look in the comments, right, and get people's reactions as to what we should look into next. And yo, I've checked out Ciroc thanks to someone in the comments, and we checked out Ciroc featuring Black Thought, the Black Renaissance, and yo, it was sick. I didn't realize somehow my image is over the lyrics. So you just see me reacting, but you don't see what I see, the lyrical breakdown that I try to share with every video. But yo, shout out to Sabrina who recommended that we take a look at Goddess Gang. This is one that I came across, but I never checked it out. I just put it on my list of videos. But yo, we got the lyrics pulled up. We're about to break it down. Let's get into it. I'm excited. Anything this chick has put out has been just sick. Goddess Gang. Ooh, got a little Caribbean flow.
They keep telling me chill, queen. Let them wait for the reveal, see? Now I'm at the permit in multiple spots. It's lyrical pox in your grill. Meaning I'm ill. How would I deal? I am from Shop Shad in DC. That means I only know how to go until I'm on a marquee getting properly built. Cause stock in a part of my stock. I'm a
Man, I can't let that ride without breaking it down, right? She says, there's a few things. She said, I'm about to premiere in multiple spots, right? Almost like a movie premiere or premiering something is like showing it for the first time, right? The revealing. But she said, let them wait for the reveal, right? So she's just playing with the words there, right? But she said, this is lyrical pox in your grill. For those that are old as, I believe I'm around the same age as her, or she might be a little bit older. I'm not exactly sure. I'm 39. I was born in 1982. But if you were my age, you know about chicken pox, right? Chicken pox and measles, that was still a thing when we were young. And you get chicken pox, meaning I'm ill, right? But she said also, I will not yield, right? I have no chill, is what she's saying, right? But she says in the beginning, they keep telling me chill, queen, right? Man, so the play on words is not just one bar to the next. There could be multiple bars in between there. Just stick with it. Like, look at what she says, and this is going over most people's heads, especially that younger crowd. She said, I'm from Southside, D.C., right? That's Washington, D.C. She says that means I only know how to go, right? Like, I can go at a motherfucker. But go-go is it's a subgenre of funk. And it originated in the D.C. area, the D.C. area, right? This is something where you're looking at probably mid-'60s to late 70s, because you get the 70s is what? It's the birth of hip-hop, right? You get that big blackout in the Bronx in 77. A lot of people rioted, looted, and they stole a lot of music-making equipment, right? Everybody wanted to be DJs. These kids were running, doing hip-hop parties in the park. Yo, you want to say... people say that, look, I love how creative my people are. When they started hip hop and they were doing parties in the park, you know, we're talking about back in the day, like Africa Bambaataa, right? And a lot of the old school heads, right, know about this in New York. But these cats used to go into the city lights. Those that are from an inner city know that you have street lights. And in New York, in the Bronx, they were tapping into the power of the street lights, the power, their amps and their mixing equipment. This isn't like today where you just got a soundboard and a laptop or a mixing. You had equipment then. They were using that power to amplify and run electricity. Yo, that's just sick with it. And that was in also in the late 70s, but there's a lot of overlap there. But yo, it's just sick what she's saying about go-go, referencing go-go. And it's just, again, going over most people's heads. Let's get back to it. Oh, and the last bar. I'm on a marquee getting properly billed, which could be another play on Washington, D.C., right? And making money, right? Or getting billed or a bill as currency. But also a lot of these faces are on marquees in Washington, D.C. A marquee you can think of as like on an official building. It could be a canopy or a tent as part of a building. But I think of it also as part of a structure, like the Washington building of Harris, XYZ or whatnot. So I'm not sure if I got that right, but again, we got to hear some more bars. Let's run that back. And yo, if you're a fan of intellectual breakdowns and going through the lyrics, man, don't forget to subscribe to the channel with people like Black Thought, Nas, Ciroc, Toby Nwigwe. It's just not something the everyday person can understand on first listen. I'll run something back and sometimes catch something and break it down in a new meaning. I'm like, oh, I didn't even get that. That's so sick. I love understanding the true meaning of what someone's writing. If you're a fan too, man, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get it.
Now I'm about to put me in multiple spots. It's lyrical pox in your grill, meaning I'm ill. I will not kill. I am from South Side of DC. That means I only know how to go until I'm on a walk, getting properly built. Cause something around my stock, I'ma build no man. I'ma keep this campaign up till rock for praise and brains. The popular dress slogan, that's where goddamn see. I want you to let.
She's going so quick. Sometimes the problem with having the lyrics there is you find yourself reading them instead of getting the references. Like when she said, like she referenced the bill, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm reading it and I'm putting it together. My mind is putting it together, but it gives you another point of reference, right?
I'ma keep this campaign up here.
Listen to what she says. She says, "Stop is not a part of my stock or my build," right? That's just, I don't understand how to stop. I don't know how to not hustle for this. It's not part of, like, what do you think of, like, stock rims or stock tires, something that comes with the vehicle. It's a part of you already. And she said, yo, stop being part of this, right? She said, I'm going to keep this campaign up until Rock for Prez ingrained. Let me just hear that.
For praise and grains, the popular dress slogan, that's where goddamn see. I want you to levitate. My shit don't is medicate. When you walk out of vocalating statement for rap, they grammatically celebrate.
Yo, listen to what she's saying. She said one little quote got him vocally abstaining, right? To abstain from something, most people are probably thinking of abstain from sex, right? Meaning you don't have sex. Where she says they from vocally abstaining from rap. They grammatically celibate, right? They don't understand how to play with these words, right? They're not messing with this. They're not doing this like I'm doing this. Yo, that's just sick with it. Back at least a few seconds here. Of course, I jumped. Grammatically celibate, right? It's like they don't fuck with grammar, right? They're not at my level at this wordplay. Yo, just sick with it. And that's, yeah, so one little quote got him vocally abstaining from rap. They don't fuck with this. Sick. Hydroxycut. That was Hydroxycut was a weight loss supplement. I believe it was America's #1, right? That was their slogan until, what was that? Was it ephedrine or ephedrine? There's a ingredient that got it banned in some areas back in 2004. So do your research before you use some old bottles of Hydroxycut after hearing this, right?
I would try to cut these like great MCs to a zero size.
Like I cut them down.
I'ma take up every white space with some black characters, reversing to fight. Embodying any added attitude, it out for me, I keep the hearses outside. Beware, real rap run through my veins, I'm either a embodying any added attitude, it out for me, I keep the hearses outside.
That's just so sick with it. And then I go back, I just saw this. Again, I'm going to keep this campaign up until Rock for Prez ingrained, right? So Rock for President, right? Ingrained is a popular trail slogan, like she's running for president. Okay, I get it. And then she went into that whole thing about grammatically celibate. I Hydroxycut these lightweight MCs to a suitable size. Yo, that's sick. She's saying, like, yeah, I'm going to cut these people down. They're nothing, right? They're not even at my level. I smack them out the way. I got to go back to this. I'm approximately 1/4 human. The rest is unidentified. I'm going to take up every white space with some black characters, reverse gentrify it. Yo, that's sick. White space doesn't mean that it's entirely white, but normally it's referred to as blank space from a design perspective, right? I used to be involved with commercial web design, and you have to look at the amount of blank space because most people will perceive it as white. But, you know, she said, I'm going to take up every white space with some black characters, reverse gentrify it. Now, I don't know if I'm sure I get what she's saying because of gentrification, right? It's the process of like when you improve certain parts of the of your city. They were urban, rundown ghettos, and then it goes through a process of gentrification. Millennials are starting to move in. They start putting cool restaurants, and oh, the buildings are so unique. I love the culture here. But then what happens, right? The rent prices skyrocket, and you start forcing the people that were there, you start displacing them. That's a gentrification process. Displacement doesn't always happen, but come on now, we know what happens, right? Let's get back to it. We're only 42 seconds in.
I'm a drop to cut these like great MCs to a syllable size. I'm approximately one for human arrests unidentified. I'ma take up every white space with some black characters, reverse gentrified. Embodying any gotta take it out from.
Oh, I get it. She's, yo, that man, it must be the weed. Yo, forgive me if I'm a little slow, but when you talk about gentrification, you're, you know, she said, now I'm going to take over every white space with black characters, right? But normally it's the reverse, right? You're going into neighborhoods of people of color, and it's normally white people that are displacing them. She said, yo, I'm gonna reverse gentrify it. Man, I can't believe that almost went over my head until I ran. That's why you got to run it back, I tell you.
This reverse gentrified. Embodying any gotta take it out from me. I keep the hearses outside. Beware, real rap run through my veins. I'm either a female form. Y'all might get ghetto or got.
Yo, she said, real rap run through my veins. I'm ether in female form. Some of you might be asking, what exactly is ether, right? The battle between Jay-Z and Nas at one point years ago, most people think of the song ether, but that's not a word that, or play on words like either or something that he came up with. That ether is, he said that ether, the shit that make your soul burn slow. And he wasn't playing. It's ether, from an educational perspective, you're normally talking about a chemical, right? It's a chemical that doesn't smell like anything bad or harmful. Some even say that it's pleasant smelling, but it's very volatile, right? It's very explosive. It's extremely flammable. You would only use it for like industrial process, right? So and the effects, the side effects to it, you normally get somebody that's like they have distorted thinking, right? They're having hallucinations. Like it affects them. That's why Nas named that ether, and he just burned Jay-Z, right? And she's saying, yo, I'm the female ether. That's just sick on a whole other level, the way that she's using that. I don't know where exactly. Oh, here he goes. Real rap runs through my veins. I'm ether in female form, right? No, she's either referencing Nas again and saying how lyrical, how she's killing it, or she's also saying like, yo, I'm explosive. You know, you need to get with this. Yo, that's just nice. And I like the outfit change here. I'm a fan of the hat, girl.
Real rap run through my veins. I'm either a female form. Y'all might get ghetto or got this shit sonically linked to the retail tour. See y'all on brand trying to I might get ghetto or got this shit sonically linked to the retail tour. See y'all on brand trying to box me in. I'm out of like G-Form. And even my mumbles like rumbles and concrete jungles. Yo, this is your war. This is for real. My crew is a crack.
It's so deep because she's talking about this ether and this mixture in her, but then she talks about y'all might get ghetto or goddess. And yo, shout out to everybody who came from the hood or the inner city that knows that there's two parts of you, right? There's the smooth you that needs to operate at work, and the hi, yeah, how's everything going? Of course, I'll get right to it. And you know, where you need to speak intellectually, and there's that part of you at home that's just like, man, fuck all those motherfuckers at work, bro. Right? There's the hood you, and then there's the goddess. I'm sure like anybody else, she's got different sides of her as well, right? She said, yo, I could be hood, but I am the goddess MC, right? Shout out to somebody in the comments that actually let me know that that's the name that she goes by before when I was first checking her out. I don't really know what she says. Shit sonically leaked to the retail, torn. I wonder if she's torn between going that more commercial route where I would imagine she could have quite a bit of success. Or if she wants to maintain complete control over her image and her product. I don't know. I might be reaching on that, but that's the first thing I think of when I see that. And again, to some of the younger cats might not get all these references. And I think about that, like, man, I wonder if this goes over most people's heads, right? She said, y'all won't win trying to box me in, right? But also box. Like, you won't win putting me in a box where I have no other choice because I'm vicious, right? She said, I'm Ali. You're like George Foreman. Or she said, you're like G. Foreman. George Foreman, no, I'm not talking about the George Foreman grill where you can make your little hamburger in your dorm room or whatnot, or in your basement where you ain't got a real stove. No, I'm talking about, she said, I'm Muhammad Ali or Cassius Clay, depending on where, how you reference him. I'm Muhammad Ali. You're like George Foreman, the boxer. Right before Halloween in 1974, it was October 30th of 1974, Muhammad Ali becomes the heavyweight champion of the world. And guess who he fought? You are right. It's George Foreman. If I'm not mistaken, it was his second fight. Not exactly sure. But George Foreman was only 25 years old. And they called this the Rumble in the Jungle. So if you want to check it out, you could go on YouTube and type Rumble in the Jungle. If I'm not mistaken, it actually took place in Africa. Don't quote me on that because I might not be right, but that's just so sick what she's saying. But you have to understand who Muhammad Ali and George Foreman are. And look what she said. She said, even my mumbles, right? You think of mumble rap, right? Mumble is when you don't, you might not be pronunciating, right? Or they enunciate, right? Use your words. She said, even my mumbles are like rumbles. Think of a thunder rumbling, right? Even my mumbles are like rumbles in concrete jungles. Concrete jungle is a city, right? She's saying, I might not be the loudest person, but you're going to hear this rumble in the city, right? When I speak, I have purpose. I have meaning, right? You're going to listen to what I say. That's sick. And she say, this is your warning. Bro, if she just ended there, it would be sick, right? It would be like, that's one of the sickest verses. She's a minute in. We're almost a third. We're just over a third of the way. So here, let's get right back to it. I'll run it back a few seconds. Why not, right?
It was a very big deal. Everything we crave is 24K, like the gold inside my grill. I can't reveal my sources. Might be a real rap sources. You get your fusion, not what you used to. How we come over your whole damn meal.
If you're a female and you're not some hood rat, you're not out there bad, and you're smart, you're intellectual, but you still like good music, you still love hip hop, I can see this is that anthem, right? Goddess Gang. How beautiful does that sound? Think about a beautiful black woman or a person of color, right? Just knowing who they are, being comfortable who they are, and knowing their history. That's a dangerous person, right? That's what Nas says. We're a brave heart. And he goes, whatever it is, whatever you do, make sure that whoever you're with is a thug and intelligent too. That's what a real thoroughbred is, right? Something along those lines. I don't know the exact lyrics, but and man or woman, right? Think about that. When you're going out here looking for a partner, man, I'm telling you, looks will fade. But the mind, an intellectual mind, a beautiful mind will never go anywhere. And if you can't sit and have a good conversation about whatever it is, if you can't have an intellectual conversation, what are you really doing? You're going to be very disappointed when you're no longer going to the club or the kids are out of the house and you sit there looking at this mofo that has got nothing intelligent to say. Woo! But this is the anthem. Run that back.
Over your whole damn meal.
But she said everything we crave is 24K, right? 24 karat. She said, like the gold inside my grill. Can't reveal my sources, but I might be a real rap sorceress. Sorceress is, you think of, I don't want to say a female witch, but a female sorcerer, right? Old cauldron, old shivel, a few drops of virgin blood and some hair from my chinny chin chin face, right? Shout out to girls looking regular, right? Not regular. This is a very beautiful girl, but just not I don't need to see her large, injected, oversized ass, right? I don't want to see her bleach blonde hair, right? I like the beautiful braids. I like the natural beauty that comes across. Like, yo, let's get off these fake filters and all these things that make you look a little, I get it. Everyone wants to put their best face forward, but it has to be your face, right? She's feeling it too. You can tell. Yo, that's beautiful. I like my suspenders too.
You ready? Mama said I could be anything. That was the dope part. But I grew up planning my dreams is downstream from the dope spot. And I'm a descendant of the kings and low-key fiends of the copies. From streets for the police, deep with the holy skin is the color of mocha. Hear me out.
Yo, listen to what she's saying, man. I wanted to let that ride just to vibe with it. I've never heard this before. Nah, when she came in and she was just like, "You ready?" I was like, "Oh shit, she's about to go." Now, she said, "Mama said I could be anything." That was the dope part. But I grew up planning my dreams downstream from the dope spot. Like, yo, I can be anything I want, but I'm still stuck in this hood. I'm right down the street from these fiends in the dope spot, but I still got my dreams, right? She said, yo, I'm a descendant of kings and low-key fiends of the coca, right? So, yeah, you could be fiends, but, yo, there's kings and queens, and, man, if you don't know, you need to check out some of our previous videos about, I hate speaking with the kids. I got kids of my own. Now they're diluted, right? They're mixed with Puerto Rican and Mexican. They got, different things just like I'm mixed, right? My mom is black. My dad is Mexican. My dad wasn't in my life. I identify as black, even though I'm yellow like a Simpson, right? So why did I get there? But, I'm a descendant of kings, right? You talk to black people, especially younger kids, and they're like, they trace themselves back to slave owners, right? It's like, bro, you are so much more than the descendants of slaves. Bro, you are the descendants of African people. Like, I've traced my history back to the west coast of Africa. In the slave trade involving the Cape Verde Islands. And it was, but my people are from Senegal. I believe it said. I did one of those ancestry tests. What am I saying? Oh, but when I look back, and I started like, man, a lot of people, they don't teach you anything about who you are in school. Do you know anything about African history? And no, I'm not talking about Rosa Parks and Black History Month facts. I'm talking about, do you know anything about what was going on in Africa? These black people weren't just chilling, doing slave labor anyway, or selling themselves for, this was a thriving place, right? This is somewhere where, we have these, I like to bring up Mansa Musa because you'll hear Black Thought reference him quite often. And if I'm not mistaken, maybe she did in the Black Renaissance. But, who is Mansa Musa? We actually did a video on that here. But he was the richest person in the world with an estimated fortune of $500 billion. They don't talk to you about these African kings that had so much power and wealth. Right? That they were building universities and libraries. And the libraries in Timbuktu, they say, had the most books from anywhere in the world. People would travel from around the world to Africa for education. Think about that. They make you think African. I ask people about Africa, and they're like, would you go ride an elephant? Like, is that what you think about Africa, bro? You are sadly mistaken. And you are so much more than the descendants of slaves. You are the descendants of kings and queens, and you need to treat yourself as such. That knowledge needs to be more widespread, I swear. And, that's one of the reasons we got this channel, right? Modern day griots. What's a griot? A griot is someone that traditionally in West Africa, would pass down information from one generation to the next. And that's how people knew how to make moves in the world, right? We don't have that today. We don't even have daddies in a lot of our homes. We don't have father figures in our community, so we're making moves based on what? Hip-hop videos? Please, bro, we need to do better. Come on now. Let's get through this.
Oh, these people, the holy skin is the color of mocha. Hear me out. I've been through too much enough.
From the streets where the police beef, when your holy skin is the color of mocha. Woo! All of our people of color know that feeling, right? When the police are about to pull you over, the police mess with you, police are terrorizing your neighborhoods, Man, and I was gonna go, the holy skin. If you believe in Jesus, or you believe in Christianity, right, or you believe in Jesus, based on where he was from, right, based on we would understand Jesus to be a person of color, right? He's blackish, he's brownish, based on where he's from, right? So, that's the holy skin. Sick.
Too grown to play around with y'all. Now I'm a wild lad every time. Get my rhyme to lift me so anytime. The holy skin is the color of mocha. Hear me out. I've been through too much and I'm too grown to play around with y'all. Now I'm a wild lad every time. Get my rhyme to lift me so animal. Every vet I see sick of much too peace for the next breed of these amateurs.
Woo! She said every vet I see, people like Black Thought, right? People that are legends in the game that fuck with her. She's saying every vet. Where was I? I've been through too much. I'm too grown to play with y'all, right? She said, I'm a wild out every chance I get. My rhyme delivery so animal, right? It's unpredictable. You never know what's coming, right? She said, every vet I see, which could also be, it's a play on animal, right? Vet is a doctor for animals, a veterinarian. But she said, every vet I see says I'm much too beast for the next breed of these amateurs. Like, man, I don't like my face there because it looks like I'm behind a Confederate flag or something. Let's give it. Hold on now. But yeah, get what he's saying, what she's saying, right? And again, the play on words with the animal reference: animal, vet, beast, breed. Bro, sick with it. Just still saying I'm sick now, but I'm sicker than this next class of not just female rappers, but any rapper.
Classic sheet music legend like amethyst. Whoa, they scared of this black girl magic. My heritage packed well baggage. I learned this fly shit from my DNA to a TSA rock snap. Beauty irrelevant, this is not pageants. I'm a rap dragon. Every time I open my trap is fine. Your outlook ending up tragic. Trust me, I do this for MLKF, for homies with criminal past. This middle of passage, rhythmic mash. I bridge your adrenaline in a galactic alien. Bars later with alien cadence, breaking on enemy flags. It's mayhem. My shit have been down since day one, ready to tackle the planet.
Oh, what did she say right there? Just too much. She said, fuck freshman classes. My texts are classic, right? You could think of text, but you could think of textbooks. You could think of her lyrical catalog as classics. She said, sheet music legend, right? This chick legit is up there with Black Thought when it comes to this wordplay. Because, it's challenging. Right, I'm going at right after this. My texts are classic, right? She says sheet music legend, like Amadeus, right? And I'm thinking like, well, what's Amadeus? Well, if you've ever purchased sheet music, I used to practice on the keyboard, right? I could read music and whatnot. But when you buy sheet music, it's normally referred to as Amadeus sheet music. But she said right in the beginning, sheet music legend, like Amadeus. But not only that, but Amadeus is Mozart's middle name, right? Well, I don't know if you guys have, ever explored music and Mozart, or you look at classical, you look at composers of yesteryear, right? Mozart's a very famous, kind of well-known person, and supposedly that was his middle name. So they use it on a lot of stuff that's like classical and, sheet music kind of stuff. Funny side fact that was just useless knowledge that I keep in my head is I read a story once that they think that he was actually joking. And that, in fact, is not his middle name. And it would be so funny to find out that wasn't his middle name. And all these people are you now using it for their businesses and whatnot. But, for her to know that, she has to be, I wonder if she plays any other instruments. That's normally somebody who purchases sheet music. And normally you don't write rap down in sheet music. Normally you're doing the E, G, B, D, F, or F, A, C, E, the keys that you're playing, or, but that's just sick with it. She said they're scared of this black, even she said, whoa, after she referenced it. She said they're scared of this black girl magic. My heritage packed well. Baggage, yeah. I learned this fly shit from my DNA, right? This fly shit's in my blood, right? This is who I am. This is how I am. But she said I learned this fly shit from DNA to TSA rock, right? To TSA rock. So the play on words. She's saying her name But think about it. If you're a person that travels a lot, you have to deal with the TSA, right? What is it? Travel Service Administration or Travel Secretary, whatever it is. But those are the people that are going through and checking you at the airport. And she said this fly shit. So it's like, ooh, yo, that's going over most people's head, man. Put my thinking. How the hell does it keep coming off? You know, put my thinking cap back on. Let's go.
This is for real. My crew was a very big deal.
Yo, so I don't want to miss anything.
Bars later with alien cadence, breaking on enemy flags, just mayhem. My shit have been down since day one, ready to take on the planet.
Yo, and she just, I don't think we did that justice when we said, oh, I see what happened now. We had already went through that. Yo, when she says, like, I do this for MLK Ave, that's Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue, right? There's one in every state. Shout out to, I don't know if it's Dave Chappelle or Cat Williams. And he's like, man, y'all bogus as hell, because no matter where you go, what part of the country, if you go to Martin Luther King Drive or Martin Luther King Boulevard, man, it's always the hoodest part of the city. That's bogus. Yo, you think about Chicago, right? Thinking King Drive. But, yo, I see what, that's why we missed it, right? She said this middle of passage, rhythmic mashup, raise your adrenaline, right? Your adrenaline gets you going. Intergalactic. Yo, amen bar. Did she say bars Laden? Like Bin Laden? But she said she has alien cadence, right? Yo, that's just sick. That's the way that you speak, right? You think about the cadence of someone. Preying on enemy flagships, mayhem, like chaos. My city been down since day one, ready to take on the planet. Yo, it's just DC, right? That's sick. Just sick with it.
Over my trap is fine. Your outlook in and up trash. Trust me. I do this for MLK Ave, for homies with criminal past. This middle of passage, rhythmic mash, a pressure adrenaline, intergalactic aiming. Bars later with alien cadence, bringing on enemy flags, just mayhem. My shit have been down.
Man, this girl got me slapping my head too. But yo, I want to break this down. I don't want to miss anything. And look, I missed this bar. She says, beauty irrelevant. This is not pageants. I'm a rap dragon, right? Said, my beauty, how I look is irrelevant to the conversation. This isn't a beauty pageant. We're not discussing beauty. We're discussing lyrics. We're discussing rap. We're discussing hip hop, right? And I'm a rap dragon, right? I'm coming with the hot fire. Every time I open my trap, it's fire, right? Yo, I love when she's just breaking it down. I do it for homies with criminal past, right? Middle of passage, rhythmic mashup. But what she says here is slick. And again, I don't know if most people are getting this. But she says, amen bars, right? Right, like, so what she says there is bars laden. I thought it was Bin Laden at first. But bars laden is another word to say bar. But laden also means, you could say like, you're loading something, right? Like how much of a load you're carrying. Like if you're heavily loading something, that's another way to say it, like laden, or what that means. But it also means bars. And just that play there, that like, yo, who is getting that, right? Like, do people hear that when they're bumping and they understand and appreciate that? I don't think so. I wouldn't even have, it took me like how many times have we, it's already a 30-minute video. Man, this chick is sick with it. Sick. And, yo, I like the fact that it's a 30-minute video. That shows that there's so much depth to what she's actually saying, right? It's like one of those magic squeeze towels, and then you actually squeeze it out, and it's like this huge bowl of water because she's downloading this condensed file to you, right? She's letting you get it, but she's dropping knowledge in there in a very different way. This chick is sick.
Mayhem, my shit have been down since day one, ready to take on the planet.
Say when.
This is for real. My crew is a very big deal. Everything we crave is 24K and the golden time my grill. I can't reveal my sources. Might be a real rap sources. Niggas your fusion, not what you used to. How we come over your whole damn meal.
That anthem, right? Yo, and again, look at the beauty there, right? She's not showing you And no offense to Puerto Rican or Mexican or any Colombian, whatever, but there's something about black beauty, right? And that's what she's about, right? She's a goddess, and she's look how natural that is. She's showing family, she's showing people like just that look normal, right? And they're so beautiful. Man, just stick with it. Yo, if you're a fan, I hope I did that song justice. Man, she's one of the most lyrical people I've heard. If you're a fan of intellectual breakdowns and just breaking down the lyrics and exploring good music, man, don't forget to like the video, but also subscribe to the station. Look forward to kicking it with y'all, man. Have a good one. Hopefully I did that justice.